Old man Aaron Rodgers is back, Pat. Can
Yeah,
you believe
he
that
is.
shit? Wow, dude, he had a nice game, and he actually looked decently well. And the Jets smoked the fucking New England Patriots, who look like a JV team, 24-3. Pat, not a bad Thursday night game. I mean, it would have been
No,
nice
not at all, bro.
if New England would have actually put up a fight. It would have been more enjoyable to watch. I
For
started
sure,
watching
bro.
podcasts afterwards. Like I think it's halftime. I was like, all right, this game's getting old.
That's it, man. Well,
That's it.
welcome
Pat,
everyone that's
Pat,
here.
how's it Friday night, Pat?
Good, bro. I'm happy to be here. I like our Friday night live. Get everyone in the mix and ask, tell, talk, whatever. We're here.
Ask away, whatever you need to do. Whatever you need to do. What do you think of the game last night, Pat? We had the doozies the first week.
Yeah,
we had a couple of like rock star games, and then
I liked it. I was intrigued because it's like I've been actually being in this market in the area. It's just like, you know what?
Oh yeah, must have been going crazy up there.
Yeah, everyone was going nuts. My timeline was all Jets people going nuts, but it was good, man. It's good to see like a local team actually do good. For once in this area, because it's been a long time since the Giants, kind of did it, and the Jets have been irrelevant for many moons now. So for Rodgers to make them relevant,
Jets still stink, don't they? Isn't that the slogan?
It's like Jets, Mets, and Nets. They usually put them all together. They're all horrible.
Oh, really?
So, yeah. So, and then usually the Knicks, Rangers, and the Giants were always like the good guys. So
the next step up, they're like the actual legitimate teams that you're gonna watch. The other ones are like you just hate yourself because you're a fan.
No, yeah, dude, it comes to territory. Love it.
All right, well, what's up, everyone? Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Elite Fantasy Nation podcast. As always, I'm your host, Matt Dennis. You can follow me at Fantasy Matt EFN. Damn, that is my boy. Yes, I did it. Pat Wendelken. You can follow him at City Stars 136. You actually pointed the right way, so hopefully you're unmirrored. Hit at the bottom, hit the like and subscribe. Drop any comments as well off to the side. Pat will be the commentator, so he'll be bringing up the comments as they come along, and we'll address as many as we can. And so you start sit. If you got trades that you want to drop in, whatever it is, even if it's not live, put them in, trades and stuff like that. Put them in the comments, and we can actually pull them up and do them on the next episode if we don't get into them this episode while we're live. But Pat, we match, man. I don't know. We didn't really plan this. We both have V-necks on, I think, black shirts. No. And you got a real chain that probably costs money. I just have, whatever. So
yeah, kind of.
But looking good, man. We got a uniform on. I like it.
Yeah, bro. No, it's like a funeral.
Yeah,
all black and running out.
We look modern, man. We're cool. We're slick. All right, man. Let's get to the game. Thursday night football. The New York Jets, Jets, played at home against the New England Patriots, 24-3. Like I said, it wasn't really that big of a showing, although New England looked like it was actually going to have a pretty good defense. So I was kind of going into the game, not really sure how it's going to go. Aaron Rodgers, like we talked about, 27-35, 281 yards, 2 touchdowns. He seemed to have better movement, Pat. I mean, he seemed like he was kind of eluding in the pocket, stepping up a little bit, kind of sidestepping the rush, opening himself up for passing lanes. So he did a pretty good job with that. But here's a question for you, Pat. We talk about patience or panic or patience. And I got a question for you regarding that. Breece Hall, bro. Breece Hall is I'll take that word away. Breece Hall is splitting backfield right now with Braylon Allen. So between the two, they had a total of 27 carries for 109 yards and 1 touchdown. Breece Hall basically got half of that, 16 carries, so a little bit over half the carries. Yards is almost a dead even split, 54 for Breece, 55 for Braylon, which means that Braylon actually had a better rushing average. The touchdown did go to Breece, and then he got 4 catches for 29 yards as well for Breece Hall. Braylon Allen got 3 for 13. Panic or patience, man?
So I want to go in between. It's not a panic yet, but you shouldn't be too patient and relaxed at the same time, because I was actually just telling you, he reminds me of like a young Brandon Jacobs. He's like Braylon Allen.
Yeah,
and he has the speed, he has that strength. He's like a brick shit out. So I'm super excited to see what he has to offer, and he's showing it already. And he's building confidence with Aaron Rodgers already, and clearly, he's going to be chewing at Breece's time and everything else. I mean, and they drafted him where they did, and they're going to use him. So
yeah. And honestly, coming out of Wisconsin, you and I we did talk about that before we jumped on when we were backstage. Coming out of Wisconsin, Braylon Allen, he was a ground and pound guy. Got all kind of the rushes there. in Wisconsin. So very highly touted running back. What's that?
I said, oh, yeah. No. I agree with you 100%.
Very highly touted running back coming out of college. It was kind of a head scratcher when they drafted him when they did. I mean, given the fact that they have Breece Hall already and he's still on a contract for, I believe, 2 more years. And the fact that they drafted, I think it was second round, Braylon Allen, if not the third round. I mean, it was kind of like a head scratcher, but it looks like they definitely want to take workload off of Breece Hall. They definitely want to probably save him for the playoff run because this is definitely a team that can go, looks like it could possibly go. They've got, championship, Super Bowl aspirations. So I'm sure they're doing this just to try to balance out the utilization of time between, and work that Breece Hall is getting so he doesn't get injured.
Yeah, for sure.
He looked great last year, but, you never know. So, so that was a head scratcher, man. And then Garrett Wilson. I mean, he did have a touchdown, but 5 catches off of 9. I mean, he had 9 targets, dude. I just saw that. 9 targets, 9 times. Did you ever watch Ferris Wheel? You must watch Ferris Bueller's Day Off, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing when he was like late, or no, he was absent 9 times. Anyways,
I know you're talking.
Yeah, it was like the principal was saying he's like 9 times. Yeah, dude, it's awesome. Took place downtown Chicago. Love it. 9 targets, 5 catches, only 33 yards, dude. Like, that's horrible. And 1 touchdown. That is the only thing that saved him was a touchdown. And even then, it's only, what is that, 14 points, 15 points?
I gotta be honest with you. I had him. I started him. I projected to win this week in my league, but the other gentleman had Breece Hall, and he only outscored me by like a couple points. But I just don't. I thought this was gonna be the big breakout game, like 120 yards, 2 touchdowns or something. I saw it and I thought I felt it. It just didn't come to fruition. So Tyler Conklin had an amazing game. He loves his tight end. Alan Lazard took a little off, and Mike Williams looked okay. I mean, it was very well balanced, I guess you can say, minus the tight end issue. But I expect more, man. Like, for where he was put, and he's offensive rookie of the year the other year, and like, it's just, I expect more. Really, that's what.
Dude, I
mean, want more.
If you think about it, like, he tore his Achilles. What was it, 2 years ago? So then he came back last year, and everybody's like, it may take him a little while to get up to game speed, and he looked fucking phenomenal. Like, out of the week 1 last year, I just remember he had a monster game week 1. It was like, whoa, here we go, and he crushed it the whole entire year. Breece Hall, that is. So yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you. I mean, most people drafted him as an RB 2 or 3.
Correct.
CMC 1. Right?
Some people were chewing at him almost at 1. They were saying that he could surpass him this year. People were hyping him up that much, and honestly,
totally fair.
Look, CMC hasn't even touched the field yet, so it's clearly, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, it was between like those. If you think about it, it's between those 3, right? So it was CMC, Breece Hall, and then
Bijan
Robinson. Those are like the 3. Regardless of, like, some people could have sit there and said because of CMC you could rearrange the order, but in general, those are the top 3, right? I mean, and then you've got obviously, like you said, CMC's been injured. Who knows when he's going to be back and how healthy he's going to be when he comes back. So then it's Breece Hall wheels up, and then you get this game. I mean, it's kind of. Yeah, panic. I mean, I think it's a great opportunity right now for if you're in Dynasty or even in redraft. Why don't you tap on the the owner of Breece Hall and kind of just say, hey, what would it take to get him off your hands? And obviously, given the current situation, the fact that they do love Braylon Allen, it's been talked about a lot. Like, the coaching staff there in New York, as you can attest. I mean, you're in that market. They talk a lot about Braylon Allen and how much they like him. You have Aaron Rodgers talking about him as well. So.
And it's all high praises. There's nothing negative ever really spoken.
Yeah, for sure. All right, man. You want to hit the Jets? Patriots side? I mean,
yeah, okay. I mean, it was flat, a very flat game. He got sacked 7 times. I mean, Brissett had a really, really, really rough time. The Jets defense was phenomenal, as I expected. It's crazy. I'm like, why didn't they play like this against the Bengals? But I mean, who am I? I mean, he made the Bengals look amazing. He looked so good, and it's like, well, here you go, right?
Dude,
back to normal.
Brissett didn't even have 100 yards passing.
That's 98 yards. Really nothing impressive. I mean, there's no stat here that will ever jump out because they didn't score a touchdown even. So, mind you, it was just 1 field goal.
Points.
So there's really nothing to really say or do. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So I have nothing. There's nothing really even go over. I mean, it sucks.
I mean,
Rashad, I'll tell you, it sucks because I know people that started Stevenson.
That's exactly
I was gonna say him like
I was gonna go there.
Big letdown with 6 carries for 23 yards. So if you started him, that's a really sucks for you. That's only
the game,
a couple points.
Pretty quick. I mean, if you think about it, they're not going to be running the ball a lot when the game, and you're already down 14-0.
Yeah,
as early as they are, you got to obviously start passing. In time of possession, I mean, the Jets just like dominated in time of possession. Like, so unfortunately, that's kind of the detriment to New England side, is that they just didn't have, they couldn't get a flow going. They couldn't sit there and like build, the scoring drives or anything like that, because they just didn't have momentum or time to do it. So
yeah, man, I agree.
Kind of crazy, but yeah, I mean, Patriots really nothing to talk about. I did start Jacoby Brissett in one league. I think I got 4 points. So that's great. Fuck you, Jacoby Brissett. I mean, dude, 4 fucking points. He's at 98 yards. I mean, this is like Caleb Williams, I guess, esque. But
yeah,
Ramondre is the one that I definitely agree with you. I mean, people looked at him as an RB1 this season with what he did last year, and the fact that they didn't do anything is kind of, it's kind of alarming in that offense. It doesn't look great.
Sure.
They've got no wide receivers that you could depend on, right? I mean, Demario Douglas is probably the only one. He had 9 targets, 7 receptions, and 69 yards. But
it's just, yeah. I know.
Yeah,
it's a flat line,
man. Yeah, hopefully we get a better next week Thursday. Do you happen to have?
It's Cowboys and Giants play next Thursday.
My man had it ready. Cowboys and who? Giants?
Yeah.
Ah, damn. At least one team will score a lot of points. Fucking Giants are horrible.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that I was gonna say,
we want to transition.
We're gonna kick right into them. So
let's go.
We can do our, get ready to do our who we're starting, who we're sitting, and our picks and all the good stuff, man. So Giants, Cleveland. There you go. There's your first on the slate.
Right. Who do you want? Who do you want? I know it's a shit bowl.
I'll take the Giants. Bowl? Clearly, Giants.
Yeah, all right. Oh yeah, that's you're close.
I'll take it. I'm in the area.
All right.
Malik Neighbors is going to be an automatic start. There's no sit. He's at 15 receptions for 193, 1 touchdown. So what he can see, what he can do, as he progresses on. I mean, we need more from him, but you need a quarterback that's confident.
He showed up, man. He fucking crushed it.
Yeah, I agree. Ahead. And I'm going to say the only other person that you really could do is Singletary. Is your only other start would be Singletary and Neighbors. Those are the only 2 that are even remotely worth it. Even though Cleveland has a really crappy line and everything, it's just, there's nothing you can really, their offensive line. I'm thinking the defense is not even worth it. So yeah, that's it. you take the Browns.
Yeah, I mean, we can go through this quick. I mean, I don't think we want to belabor anything.
No, not anyone else. Disgusting. I don't want to bore anyone. Really lost somebody because they hate the Browns Giants.
They're like, I walked in on this shit. I'm out.
I'm out. Yeah.
Jerome. So I will say this in the Browns side. Deshaun Watson, that organization is going to be screwed for the next 2 years. I think they can get out of his contract, I think, after next year. But they're eating a lot of dead cap. Jerome Ford is really the only one to talk about in this whole entire offense. I think.
Would you start him?
Dude, I don't know if you can. He just hasn't looked great. I mean, the Giants defenses, the New York Giants defense isn't that great, but still, I mean, it's a question mark of, that offense in general is just bad. So when the offense is bad, they're not afraid. The defense you're going against is not afraid of you passing the ball.
Correct.
All they're going to do is stack the box.
Yeah.
So then you got to do something to prove that you actually can run and then build up the pass, but they can't even run. Yeah, I'm worried, dude. I mean, I think Jerome Ford's like an RB2, if not a flex, probably more of a flex, high-end flex RB2, but it sucks, dude. This is what we said at the beginning of the season, though. We were excited about Jerome Ford. Yeah. At least, I mean, we talked the fact that they're gonna have a little while until Chubb comes back. I mean, with the lackluster showing that he's been doing, they might try to rush Chubb back and put him in quicker than we're anticipating.
Could be 100%. I mean, let's be really honest. It's not the sexiest game, but at the same time, for what we're looking at, what it is I actually was looking more forward to the Browns and everything else this year, actually, with the lineup, like Njoku, Judy.
Oh, dude, they've got a team.
But it's like,
it should be relevant, dude.
Yeah, it's really not.
Jared Judy.
Yeah, that's what I said. Judy.
I mean, brought in Jared Judy.
Cooper and Njoku. Njoku's out also, by the way. He's also out again this week. So anyone else needs it, just know he is not going to be in there. So we could pass on that. I mean, there's nothing really that great. And you could take the next game on your list is your boys. So you go right into it.
Chicago Bears at the Indianapolis Colts.
Yes, sir.
Before we go on though, hold on. We got to do pick'ems, man.
Yeah.
Are you gotta write this down.
Cleveland. I did last time. I'll
we gotta pull the receipts, man. We gotta see who's right and who's wrong. We gotta fucking showcase this shit. So you got Cleveland?
I got you. I have last week's also, so don't worry. I got you.
All right. I got Cleveland as well, so we'll sweep that one. All right. Chicago Bears at the Indianapolis Colts. All right. I will take the Chicago side. So obviously the Bears offense has looked really bad the first couple of weeks. They've also gone against, which people have been talking about, but I think it needs to be talked about even more. They've been going against probably some of the two best defenses in the whole entire league. Tennessee Titans, for as bad as the offense is, their defense is really good. And then you go into last week, the Texans, they've got an amazing defense. I think it's very underrated for what people are referring to and, kind of reference for them. The defense front is phenomenal. Dude, those big beasts, Houston Texans, they got two monster mammoth of human beings at the front line. And they destroyed the Chicago Bears offensive front as far as, their blockers and everything. So we saw last week, Indianapolis can be run on. So what I'm anticipating, and this could come back to bite me in the ass, dude, but I think it's a Swift game, put up or shut up. Okay. If he does not do good this game, and even then, I think he's a flex. Like I'm worried. I've got him in a couple leagues. I'm worried. I thought he was going to be a monster year for him, given that offensive power that they've got. Not looking so far. But I think he's worth a flex. And if he doesn't perform, I could easily see them replace him with Khalil Herbert week 4.
Okay. I got it.
So I could see them being over it and saying like, hey, you've had the opportunity. You're not cutting it. They already brought in Khalil Herbert during last week's game. Khalil Herbert was the one who got the touchdown, the only offensive touchdown the Bears have had so far this season. I was talking to somebody earlier today. So Pat, check this out. The Bears have had 4 preseason games. Yep. And now after week 2, if you include the preseason, there's 6 games that they've played. They have scored a whopping 2 offensive touchdowns in 6 games.
That's horrible.
Scary. It's scary as fuck. Scary. Considering that, like, everybody that's Caleb Williams, you've got DJ Moore, you've got Keenan Allen who's injured. Keenan Allen will be out next week as well. You got Rome Odunze.
Yes,
you got DeAndre Swift. You got Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet seeing less, snaps and everything.
Rome.
Yeah, I mean, so it's scary, dude. Yeah, so I think they're gonna try to run the rock, take pressure off of Caleb, and I think you're gonna see a lot of Rome. I think you're gonna see a lot of passes to Rome and DJ. I think they're gonna try to right the ship. I think Indianapolis is a team that they can. I wouldn't definitely do not start, obviously, Caleb Williams. I would start DJ Moore. If you have a deep flex, like 2 flex, or if you've got 3 wide receivers and 2 flex, I could see Rome Odunze maybe making it to your lineup.
Okay.
But I think it more
Swift
currently. Well, and even Swift, I think, if you got 2 running backs and, 2 flex, maybe start Swift. But if you're going to start him, this is the week to do it because everybody's dominated. So Indianapolis has allowed in the first 2 games, the 2 teams that they faced, one in week 1, one in week 2, they've allowed 150 yards to each one of those teams' running backs. Okay. So this is the game that he can get 100 yards Swift if they stick to it. The one thing that I'd worry about is they could start splitting the backfield because they don't believe in him, and it could be Khalil Herbert getting 40% of the run. So, but yeah, I'd say Swift if you can, if you can stomach it, and no Cole Kmet. Fuck Cole Kmet. He sucks.
Fair enough.
What do you think on that, man?
I agree with you.
Disagree with?
No. Would you start the Bears defense? Yes or no?
Oh, dude, we talked about this on.
Well, we didn't mention it.
We actually, because we need to do a podcast this week on Elite. This is our first one. So on All In, if anybody's not listening, go to South Harmon feed for audio.
Yeah,
on
the podcast.
Wednesdays, we do All In for them. And we talked about it. So they are the number 2 defensive scoring team in the whole entire league. Number 1 is the Minnesota Vikings. Number 2 is the Chicago Bears. I would hardcore start the Chicago Bears. Dude, against Anthony Richardson, I could see Anthony Richardson throwing 3 picks. Them maybe getting a pick 6. I could see a fumble recall. Like, dude, it's going to be, I think they're just going to destroy Indianapolis personally, which I won't get to. We'll talk about that then.
Yeah, so I'll take the Colts. I am not starting Richardson at all.
Hell no,
he's horrendous. Jonathan Taylor, yes, he's looking great as of yet. You have to start JT.
Oh yeah,
no problem.
JT.
And then, what do you think about Alec Pierce? Let's be really honest.
Josh Downs, man, he might be coming back this week. There's talks that like he's questionable.
Also questionable. Michael Pittman is questionable for tomorrow, Sunday, I should say. Fair. Sorry. So you have to keep an eye on that. That might be one of those game day decisions, just like Evan Ingram screwed people this past weekend. So Pittman has not been he's been like off and on shaky, but now it's more like he literally came on the report earlier saying that he's going towards the game time decision. So that's another one. So Alec Pierce could be the number one.
I don't disagree with you, dude. I mean, Anthony Richardson looks at him. I mean, that's just the reality of it. And
8
I know part of that,
for 181, 2 touchdowns so far. Not horrible.
Yeah. You pulled the same exact shit that I was. Yeah. So 181, 2 touchdowns. So he leads the team in receiving yards.
Crazy.
He is second in the team behind Michael Pittman in targets. He is first on the team with total receptions at 8. Pittman only has 7. And he is the only one that has more than 1 touchdown. And Michael Pittman doesn't even have a touchdown.
Yeah, agree. Wild.
So would you sit Michael Pittman?
I would, yes.
Okay. So the only person you...
Especially with him being questionable, yes. So Jonathan Taylor is a yes. And maybe if you have a wild feel in a flex spot, then I put Pierce. If you're feeling it, like some wildness, if you're feeling somehow, because he's going to be a boom or bust. Either he's going to get a long shot or not. He's more of like a Gabe Davis kind of play. That's where I put him at. So I probably wouldn't press it that heavy unless you have a really deep lineup. So
and I'm going to
throw to somebody.
And that's kind of what I was going to say. I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I think he's better than Gabe Davis. I mean, obviously the way that he currently looks, it looks like it is boom bust, and he does look like he's the home run or nothing or strikeout kind of guy, like in baseball terms. But I just think that like he's building rapport and chemistry with Anthony Richardson. And anytime you have, he's not a rookie anymore, but technically didn't play most of last year, not all, but he only played 4 games, Anthony Richardson. So this is technically his his kind of like rookie year, right? He's getting acclimated to the team again, acclimated to NFL, and he found somebody that he likes. So even if Josh Downs is in, I could see him, being a wide receiver 3, and if worst, a flex. And I'd feel comfortable doing that.
Cool.
For Anthony Pierce. Or Alec Pierce.
Yeah, I respect that. Yeah. So clearly we know you're taking Chicago.
I don't know, man. I mean, I'm taking Chicago, but I think it's going to be a damn close game, and I think the defense, here's the deal, and I'm going to say it again. As a Chicago Bears fan, I'm obviously a homer, but I will say that if they don't get their offense right this week, I'm selling the stock on everybody on that team. As far as, I mean, or at least for this year, they may. Caleb, I think, will be fine for dynasty, but in general, I'd be scared of shit. What about you?
I'm gonna go with Indy.
Ooh, look at you, asshole! I don't blame you, actually. What makes you think Indy? So, what do you think the score is going to be?
23-7.
Oh, damn. You said they're going to get smoked.
Yeah.
Who's going to score the 7? Is that an offensive touchdown, or is that the Bears defense?
I think it's going to be Swift gets in for 1. That's it.
Okay.
Breaks the tackle and runs it in. And then Jonathan Taylor grabs 2. And your boy Alec Pierce gets 1. And then maybe something crazy at the end, maybe a safety. I'm going to go with something wild.
Okay. What about the Bears defense? Do you think they're going to get, how much do you think they're going to do?
They're going to be relevant. I think they're going to be relevant for sure. Okay. But I don't know if it's going to be I don't know, because I think the offense is just really bad. I think that the Bears defense gets tired. I think that's how I'm going to put it. They're going to get a little winded, because look,
dude,
you can only be on that. You could only be so, on the field, because you see how defenses got burnt out. Even with the Jets being a top defense, even last year with Aaron being out, they were getting burnt and tired, and they lose it towards the end, no matter what.
So 2 things on that. First thing is, most people might not understand this because they're not, near Chicago and probably can't get. Well, it's Sunday Night Football, I guess. So, anyways, you might have watched it. I keep forgetting last week is just last week, but it just feels like it's forever ago sometimes. Mm-hmm. The defense definitely kept Houston Texans and kept the Bears in the game for sure in last week's game.
For sure.
And then at the very end, they gave the ball to Caleb Williams, who could have won the game. So they could have actually beat the Houston Texans last week. Mm-hmm. The anger and angst that I've heard not only on Bears podcast and everything, and I saw even during the game, you could see it on the sidelines. They were fucking pissed. The defense was angry that the offense didn't do anything and basically couldn't win the game. So
agreed.
You're already starting to see that. You're already starting to see that competitive nature where they're we're doing our fucking job. You got to do your fucking job. Step up to the plate. Do your job. And I didn't
at the end. I sent you
they were angry, dude.
Oh yeah, and Caleb's attitude when Stroud was trying to give him advice, you're gonna be great. He was and he's just gotta watch out for those hits. You can't just keep doing that. You know what I mean? You can't take the hits. And he was like, yeah, and kind of like shrugged it off. So like that was the only thing that turned me off. Just be honest with you, I didn't like that. All right, next game on our roster block. Houston Texans, Minnesota Vikings, man.
That is gonna be a good one.
I'm gonna, you know, how I'm taking my Houston, my full stock, baby.
Bro, they're both 2-0, man.
I know.
Who thought the Minnesota Vikings gonna be 2-0 at this point of the year?
Probably not. Nobody watching right now.
Sam Darnold. If anybody is here that thought that the Minnesota Vikings were gonna be 2-0, put it in the chat.
Yeah, no, it really would be.
All right.
So
what do you got? What team are you taking?
Stroud. Hello.
Oh yeah, Houston.
Houston. That's my team, dude. So obviously, I'm starting them in full wheels up. Stroud's gonna go. Mixon's hurt, so it won't be. Joe Mixon will not be running the rock. He's gonna be Cam Akers, clearly, which is doubtful. Like I'm not fully committed to him at all.
Cam Akers is scary as shit.
Yeah, dude, I'm not really worried about it. So, Nico Collins, Diggs, and Tank Dell is questionable in my opinion now because he's just the third fiddle of the group. He's only got 35 yards, five attempts. I mean, look at Nico Collins has 14 receptions for 252 and 1 touchdown. Even Diggs has 70 yards, 10 receptions, 2 touchdowns. So you can see where
touchdowns. Like he's getting the touchdowns just helps.
So that's what I'm saying. So Stroud start, Nico Collins start, Diggs start, and Houston defense and their kicker, Fairbairn, and he's like the number 1 kicker or second.
Oh, he's like
kicker.
He's your love life, your love interest.
Dude. And kickers win me games. Just remember
they do. Kickers count, man. Kickers count. So, question for you on that then. So you're gonna pick a defense that's gonna be away. Are you somebody that cares about that type of stuff, like the home team versus the away team when it comes to defenses?
No, I go with my gut and who has the power. The home.
I'm just asking.
No, this doesn't really phase me out, especially with that. Like Minnesota, I don't think Sam Darnold is going to do what you think all year. I mean, he's playing a solid, but Houston should come in here and they're going to come out walking out 3-0.
All right.
Go take the Vikings, bro.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate. I would not pick the Vikings. I did not expect them to be 2-0. Aaron Jones was got a little bit banged up as well, so like he didn't really look that great. But dude, Sam Darnold, let's give him props, man. I mean, for as much as we dogged on him and said this Vikings offense is going to suffer, Sam Darnold has had 50 pass attempts, 36 completions for 476 yards, dude. That's 235, 240, whatever the hell it is per game. A whopping of 4 touchdowns. He does have 2 interceptions.
Not that bad.
But a passer rating of 111, dude. That's pretty
damn
good.
Solid, man. That's what I'm saying. He's good, dude.
I think if we would have done an over-under of a passer rating and I said 95, he probably would have said under. I would have probably said under.
100%.
So props to him. I obviously not going to start him, but I just think we got to give him the proper due. Aaron Jones, old man Aaron Jones, just continually does his thing. So far this season, 26 carries, 126 yards, and 1 touchdown. I think obviously where you drafted him, you're probably gonna have to play him. I don't think you could sit him. And then Justin Jefferson, you're definitely playing. Jordan Addison looks like he's probably gonna be out again, or at least the last that I saw.
Yeah, he is out. He's already ruled out. I saw.
Okay, so I was gonna say last time I saw he was doubtful, but I didn't see an official out yet. I haven't had a chance to check, but you called it. So you're the injury man. He is out. Justin Jefferson, you're obviously gonna start him, and that's honestly it.
Dude, this dude Naylor's starting to step up, bro. He's got 2 touchdowns. He's only got 4 receptions for 75 yards. But I'm just saying that's
75 yards. That's good though. He's replacing Addison basically.
Correct. Yeah, he's the second. He's number 2. So something to keep an eye on. And that's definitely someone that he's going to be heavier into the waiver wire as it goes on. I mean, I've seen him out, but he should be available in almost all these leagues. So.
I was going to say, that's actually a great point. Like obviously it's Friday evening, so definitely go to the waiver wire tonight if you're watching it. Obviously live, if you're watching later on tonight, go to the waiver wire, just double check. You never know. We've talked about this before. Even guys that are hot, sometimes you'll see random people, on the waiver wire that just people assume somebody else is taking them, so they don't even bother to put in a waiver bid. So
yeah, for sure.
Always check out stuff like that just to see and double check. Never assume. Always make sure. All right. So we both said Texans, right?
Houston. Yes.
Yes. All right. So we've only got one team that we disagree with. This is gonna be a good one too, dude. I don't know, man. Bro. I had to do pick'ems. I was unsure of I keep wavering on this. Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh, I love it.
At the Who-Dat New Orleans Saints. The old man Carr and old man Kamara saying, "Hold my fucking beer. We ain't done yet." Who dat? Who you taking?
I love it. So I'll take the oldies. Let me get the oldies. I'll take the oldies. So let's be really honest, man. I mean, Kamara is the number one running back in the league right now. So he's completely wheels up. Dude, he's got 198, 4 touchdowns. I mean, I don't know. I can't expect him to do that the whole way, but we'll run with it for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we'll stick with Kamara. Rashid Shaheed, got to start him at this point in time. I think you have to at least a flex spot.
Dude, he's been one of the biggest surprises so far this season. I actually drafted him
169, 2 touchdowns, man.
Dude, yeah.
Those are the ones you got to really go with. And then Derek Carr, you could start. I don't see why not. The Eagles have a really shitty defense lately. They can't stop the run. I could see Kamara having a phenomenal game. Just so everyone knows, dude.
He's had phenomenal games so far already. I mean, I don't think that's a shock to say that he's going to have another one. I think it's easily, within the realm of possibilities. So I got a question for you regarding Derek Carr. And we're going to start. We're just going to riff. We're just going to do some. I'm going to put you on. I'm going to put you on the test right here. All right, Derek Carr.
Yes.
Did you just grunt?
Yeah.
You just grunted. I love it. What? I love it. Yeah. You gotta get fucking sound bites. Anyways, so Derek Carr, Brock Purdy, who'd you start?
Derek Carr.
Okay.
Debo's out, and that's a banged up line.
No, go ahead.
So just saying, so Derek Carr over Brock Purdy, yes, because the weapon choice in San Fran is getting limited. The line is a little banged up right now. There's a lot of question marks in certain spots. Derek Carr is 2-0, proved 2 solid starts. The Eagles have really crappy defense right now, and I told you Kamara's going to have a hell of a great game, bro. So Kamara can.
It causes defense. Kirk. Greg. Look at, hold on. I said I wasn't going to do this, but I had to do this. Sorry.
No, it's all right. That's referred to you.
Sup, loser. Yeah, thanks, Greg. Love you too, buddy. Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, I think Derek Carr's been phenomenal. The whole offense has been insane. And to your point, the more that they run Kamara, the more the Eagles defenses get to respect them. They're going to have to move forward and start anticipating and run, and then they're going to open up for a Carr. So
yeah.
So another one. So all right, cool. We talked about this guy earlier. Derek Carr or Anthony Richardson?
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr? I actually would. I'm looking at some rankings on other sites, and they have Anthony Richardson like quite a few steps higher, but I don't agree with that.
No, man, no. And you know what's funny? Everyone's like trying to. It was funny in the elite when we're doing the dynasty. They're like, oh, Derek Carr's washed up. You can let him go. Man, that man is saving my season as we speak. Anyway,
dude.
He is rocking.
I mean, you could honestly like tear down and go from shout out to Mike from South Harmon, tear down King.
Mm-hmm.
You could tear down from like Anthony Richardson, Dak Prescott, and then take a Derek Carr and maybe a second or third round pick if you could get it. I mean, some people might not give it to you, but I mean, I would do that. Hell, one last one. Derek Carr or another guy who's been a surprise this season, maybe not as much as a surprise, Baker Mayfield.
Flip a coin.
This was tougher.
Yeah, I would flip a coin. It's a 50-50 on that at that point in time. So yeah, I would take Carr this week against the Eagles again. Like I do. Baker has a good one, but Baker's playing the shitty ass Broncos. So that's really tough. If you had me for this week, bro, that's tough. I mean, you could flip a coin, and I think they're. I don't know, man. Now you make it really hard. Now you really think because the Broncos are really, really bad.
This whole point, man. This whole point is to put you on that.
Yeah, you're right.
Dude.
So
we ain't messing around here.
So if I think about it, I like Carr because I think Baker is going to end up blowing out Denver, and they're not going to have to throw and go as crazy. I think this will be more of a competitive game, so Carr will have to do more. So that's why I choose Carr.
Okay,
bitch.
I love it, man. You love it. But I agree. It's going to be a competitive game, dude. I mean, honestly, like we talked about this at the beginning. Like, there's some really doozy, boring games this week. But then there's like games like this where you're like, wow. Like, I want to be, even if I can't get in this area, like I want to go to a bar just to watch this game. Like, that's how excited I am to see this game.
What sucks is I'm going to get the damn Giants game. I'm going to not get this.
I know you are.
This. That sucks. I'm going to watch the Browns and Giants. It's going to be disastrous.
Take it out.
Very close. No, I'll just take shots of alcohol instead. Make me feel just
tequila. Tequila. If anybody cares, he loves tequila.
Yeah, I would love to be sponsored by any tequila. That's my goal to be I'll look like a
dude,
boozer on here.
We should try to get Casamigo.
Casamigo, any of them, bro. Just give me anything, man. I'm down, dude. I'll drink.
Well, we gotta work on our a lot. We gotta work on a lot of stuff to get us, to that point of
Casamigo sponsor. But I would. Oh my god, wear a shirt. I'll get.
Dude, Topo Chico. Have you ever had Topo Chico? They're like
no.
Kind of like seltzers. They've got like a tequila, like margarita kind of thing. Dude,
those are really good, it's like a high noon type of thing. Yeah, we got something.
Yeah, like Topo Chico. I'd love to be sponsored by Topo Chico. We need to start getting alcohol sponsors, man, and then we'll start drinking them.
Dude, I'll put a bottle right next to me. I'll put it on my wall, whatever you want.
Yeah.
All right, so go break down the Eagles, bro. What do you got for me?
So Eagles. So Jalen Hurts starting, not even a question. I don't think there's really much to talk about there. Obviously,
man.
You currently got. We're gonna hold off.
Well, it's relevant. This is beyond relevant because it's going straight to you.
You're ready to lose Carr and Olave stack on Sunday Fun Day.
To lose too, though.
Yeah, interesting.
You know what's funny? Yo, Greg, I gotta be honest with you. I think that this could be Olave's breakout game. So yeah, I'll give it to him because Olave's been super quiet and he's due for it. He's kind of like the Garrett Wilson in my eyes. Like those two, like I put them together. Like you drafted them. Well, obviously Garrett's a little higher, but like you put Olave a little lower. Absolutely, dude. I agree I think that is a great thing.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about this because Greg is like my arch nemesis. I love the dude to death, man. He's an awesome dude. He's actually in one of the most one of the leagues that I've got. Out of my 25 leagues, I think Greg, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think we're in 8 or 9 together, maybe if not 10. So I was in 3 championships last year with the opportunity to win, and Greg knocked me out of 2 of them. I was facing him in two championship games.
Good for you, Greg.
This guy in the 2 leagues that I was like favored to win and was dominating the whole entire year, kicked my ass in both. It wasn't even close, dude. It was like I got smoked. So yeah, you can piss off Greg with your rubbing in Olave and how I'm gonna lose this week. We'll talk about that after. How about this, Greg? You come back next week. If I win or if I lose, we'll discuss it then. Greg also wants to come on too, so he can defend his trades because he feels like I always dog on his trades whenever.
Oh, so you want him on a trade show? We want to lively bring him in, like a live piece for him.
Yeah,
we can do it.
Greg, you want to come on a trade show? We talked about this once before. You want to come on a trade show before? You can use your phone or whatever camera you want to use. If you want to come on, man.
And you have to defend. But you have to defend yourself. I mean, that's the whole point. He's got to go in here like straight.
He thinks I don't. He's like, there's a reason why I do it. He didn't talk about it. You just dog on it, and I'm like, well. Anyways, let off the ego. So you're starting Jalen Hurts. Saquon Barkley, man, I was not thinking he was going to be as good as he is, but dude, 46.
Agreed. Carries, we all said the same thing.
204 yards, bro. 204 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's been a beast, man. He's had over 100 yards per game averaging. You definitely wheels up start him. AJ Brown's out again another week. Devontae Smith, you're obviously starting him. Whenever AJ Brown is out, Devontae Smith is usually wide receiver 8, if not bigger. And then that's it. I mean, if you obviously drafted Goddard, you probably have to do Goddard just because of the fact of like tight ends this whole entire season has been really bad. So at this point, you probably have to start Goddard.
I'm with it.
But yeah, it helps if AJ Brown's out. He's going to get more targets anyway. So start him. Other than that, Eagles defense, I would stay away from just because I feel this game is going to be, it's at New Orleans. I think it's going to be a shootout. So I think it's going to be a lot of points scored. So Pat, I'm going to go to you first. Who do you have?
You had to do that. You had to put me in.
Do you want to pass? Do you want me to do it?
No. Fuck that pass. I'm a man. I will put this in. I'm going to take the Eagles. It's just going to be a makeup game. They lost to the Falcons, but they're not going to lose to the Saints and deliver the Saints their first loss. But it's going to be a great game, though. This is going to be within like a field goal game, I think.
Yeah. I'm torn, too. That's why I threw it to you first.
I can tell, man. Okay.
So here's the thing. I've got family outside of Philly. I've got family that lives, step family that lives in Reading. So they're going to have to do earmuffs because I want to go against you. We got to start to have a little bit of tension here. So I'm going to go against you.
Okay.
Earmuffs, anybody, family who's listening. Sorry, Scott. Sorry, Ed. Sorry, Troy family. I think the Eagles lose. I think the New Orleans Saints are going to, this is going to be their third. Dude, they went into fucking Dallas and they put the beat down on the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry's World last week. At home, I could see them easily having a similar game plan and taking it to the Eagles. Not a blowout. I don't think it's going to be like the Dallas game.
Right.
But I think for sure they're going to come out with a win. And I think they're going to be 3-0.
Okay.
Take stock.
There you go.
Well, there we go.
I wrote it down, so you're good.
Put it on the board, Jack. Put it on the board.
Got it.
All right, what's our next game, man? We got the LA Chargers at the Pittsburgh Steelers. This is going to be a fucking snooze fest.
We can go quick.
All right, do you want to pick first?
Sure. Oh, the winner or loser, or you just want to?
Nah.
Oh, I'm right. We can go to that.
They're both 2-0. Can you believe Pittsburgh is 2-0?
Yeah.
Like, let's just take a second to talk about that.
Pathetic.
Justin Fields is leading this team to a 2-0 start. Like, what is going on?
So I'll take the Chargers, and Herbert still is actually questionable also this weekend. He's been
the whole week.
I don't know. The only thing you can solidly go by and say, I'm going to say Dobbins, dude. He is an absolute goddamn monster right now.
I'm sorry if you sit Dobbins. There's something wrong with you. You should
he should be in your starting lineup. I've seen him in a lot of starting lineups already in league. So yes, you have to ride that out, and he's going to be the workhorse. So I'm only starting Dobbins. That's it. Dobbins. Period.
Dobbins.
That's it.
What about Quentin Johnson?
No.
Do you think he's going to repeat? Do you think he's do you think it's going to be a fluke, or do you think that they're going to try to get him some targets? They've got nobody else to throw to.
They got no else to throw to. I mean, what about Laddie
McConkey? Yeah, I mean, McConkey hasn't been. He's been a McConk. What?
So they're going to throw to somebody. It'll probably be both of them, but Dobbins start. The other two, I'm not starting. You should have better wide receivers than that. If you're relying on those two.
I'm just asking the questions.
I'm telling you, and I'm giving the answer. You shouldn't be playing fantasy if those are you're relying on. On to your Pittsburgh Steelers.
Harsh, we're gonna lose people watching, but that's cool.
If you're a Charger fan, I would love to know. You can write that. That'd be great. I don't even think I know a Charger fan.
There's gonna be a lot of Pittsburgh fans, though.
Yeah, my boys are. Yep.
So, no Justin Fields. That's a negative.
Yep.
Najee Harris is like really the only one that Pickens. You could probably argue Pickens. You could as a wide receiver 3. I just don't think he scares me because of who's throwing the ball. But yes, Pickens are going to start, but have temper expectations before you draft them. How about that? Najee Harris has already seen Jalen Warren's snap share come up from last week than it was from week 1. As Warren's getting healthier, they are giving more opportunities to Warren. Obviously, it's still Harris's backfield for now. So Najee has 37 carries for the year, 139 yards, no touchdowns. That's why it's like kind of got screwed if you think about it, dude. 37 carries and no touchdowns. That's kind of insane. Actually, none of the running backs have any. There's no rushing touchdowns at all. It's all been passing. So, yeah, this is going to be a sneeze fest on Pittsburgh. Najee, you can start. Warren, no. Pickens, you can start as wide receiver, low-end wide receiver 2, high-end wide receiver 3.
So we're going to both pick the Chargers. Let's be honest.
I'm debating. Yeah, sure.
I already put it in. You had no choice. It was already locked in before you.
All right. Coin flip.
All right, let me go do the boring-ass Broncos, our next lineup against the Tampa
Buccaneers,
which will be 3-0, clearly, and they'll be 0-3. There's nobody starting the Broncos. On to the
That's why you want it. You're like, you just want an easy shit.
You're like,
I just don't want to fucking talk about shit on this team.
I'm not going to waste our time and the people who are watching's time on this because there's nothing. If you pick the Broncos, you have the biggest set of balls I've ever met in your life.
I don't disagree. You definitely probably don't win that many bets if you bet the Broncos, for sure. No. That is definitely the case.
Even if you take a crazy teaser and add 50 points, you may win. That's about it. Other than that, you're not winning shit.
Baker Mayfield. Yeah, Baker's starting, dude. I mean, I think at this point, like, I even talked to you about this one, actually. So we can go back to Derek Carr. Yep. I sat Aaron Rodgers last game for Derek Carr that I just picked up in one league. I would also have sat him for Baker Mayfield. I think Baker Mayfield with those 2 elite wide receivers, I think you have to play him. Unless obviously you have somebody that's much higher up and you drafted him higher. Rachaad White, I'm scared, dude. I'd honestly sit Rachaad White if you can, if you got a better option. Rachaad White through the first 2 games, 25 carries. Listen to this, Pat. This will blow your mind. I don't think he's going to have this backfield for much longer, Rachaad White. I think Bucky Irvin will have this backfield by going into week 4. You're going to see a shift where Bucky Irvin will start to take over the backfield.
Well, you're saying that, yes. Yep.
No, totally. Yeah. And I mean, not even they're saying it. Like, you look at the numbers, and this is why they're saying it. So he's had 25 carries, Rachaad White. Not even 50 yards, dude. That's like under 2 yards a carry.
Ugh. Yeah.
No touchdowns.
He's going to lose it.
And even in week 1, they didn't even really run Bucky Irvin that much, but he has 16 carries, for 84 yards, a 5.3 rushing average or per rush.
Yeah, White shouldn't be starting. Let's put it that way. There's no way you can start White at this point.
You can't start him, dude.
No,
don't touch he's giving you nothing, dude. Even in the receptions, he's got 7 receptions, 7 targets, 80 yards, and that's it.
So let's be real. So it's just really Baker's in the backfield. That's the only one you could take.
Yeah, Baker, Godwin, and Evans. That's it.
And the Bucs defense this week.
Oh, dude, yeah, you smashed the Bucs defense this week.
I have them in 2. I picked them up in 2 leagues. That's why I said you got to take the Bucs defense this week.
Dude, I could easily see them like just steamrolling the hell out of this Denver team. At Tampa Bay too, with that humidity in Denver coming down there. I mean, dude, this is gonna be a joke. Bo Nix is gonna have like 3 interceptions, a fumble. He's gonna be saying he's seeing ghosts. You're gonna hear that, and like he'll have like the mic on and he'll be like, "I'm seeing ghosts."
Good. Hope he does.
Yeah.
And Isaiah said, "Great show," because he's watching on upstairs, I'm sure. So thank you, Isaiah.
What's up, Isaiah? Thank you. I love how he's using your account too.
Of course, it's
I was like, Pat, are you like putting in comments?
No, he's upstairs watching us on TV.
All right, man. Turn up the volume.
That's it.
All right, what's the next game? Green Bay at Tennessee. Oh, did we pick? We did pick them, right?
Oh yeah. Well, Buccaneers. Thanks. I already wrote that. You could take the Green Bay Packers if you're a fan.
Okay. Dude, did you hear that Jordan Love might be coming back soon?
Yes, that's a little wild.
Isn't that nuts, dude? I mean, that injury, like the way he was rolling around and like reeling in pain, like I thought his season was done, to be honest with you. And then they came back and it was like it was a sprain, but
they could use him. They could definitely use him, and this would be a great game.
They're calling him a game time show or a game time decision right now. Like
I wouldn't start him personally though.
No,
it's too much of a risk on that. So
first,
go ahead. I don't want to steal your thunder. Sorry.
No, this is dude. This is what we do, man. We have a flow. We just kind of like riff. We just talk back and forth. We don't need to, not step on my toes.
It's for the
if Malik Willis starts, I'm not starting any wide receivers. Period.
Correct.
I don't feel comfortable with any wide receiver. I don't care where you drafted them, what you thought they're going to do. If you want to roll the dice and take that chance with your own team, by all means, good luck, and don't come crying to us when it turns out you just got the shit in the bag. So yeah, I definitely would not be doing any of them whatsoever. If Aaron Rodgers, if Jordan Love is back, now that changes things.
Yeah, I agree.
Josh Jacobs, regardless, Josh Jacobs are obviously starting, especially with Malik Willis. They ran the hell out of him last week when they were playing against Indianapolis. If Jordan Love is back, Jalen Reed, definitely a start for me.
Oh, agreed, yeah.
Tucker Kraft, I think is a great option at tight end. I think he's a great start. He's getting majority of the tight end targets, even though they do have Luke Musgrave as well.
Yep.
And that's honestly it, dude. Like, if you need to roll in the dice and you're kind of like, you need high upside, you could play Christian Watson, but I mean, he hasn't looked good in the first 2 games. So
that's fine. I'm with it.
Yeah, and that offense, that's kind of like that's where I'd be with those two.
Cool.
I honestly, in Green Bay defense, I think you can start as well.
Okay, against Will
Levis. They're going to Tennessee, dude. That defense looks legit. I mean, honestly, man, they look like they could be a top 5 defense as well. So I easily would highly recommend picking them up because I can guarantee you they're probably available in most leagues.
With
and I mark this down too, since you're making a list of what we're calling out.
Sure.
I will say Green Bay defense will finish as a top 8 defense this week.
Okay, top 8. Roger that.
Top 8. Mark it down.
Yeah.
All right, what do you
got? Tony Pollard and Ridley. That's it. There's nothing else to say. I can't co-sign anybody else. The question is, who are you picking for this game?
Oh, Green Bay's going to smoke the shit out of them. I don't care who the quarterback is. Like Will Levis Will Levis will be.
We both agree on that, by the way. Both
on the bench pretty soon. Yeah, it's
for
scary.
Sure. Next
another
on the lineup,
another doozy.
This is gonna go quick too. I'll take not the Panthers because I've been taking every dud. So you can take who you're gonna start in the Panthers. Go for it.
I'm starting with the Panthers. That's it. That's a no. I'm not starting anybody on the Panthers.
So that's great. Now the Raiders. You gotta. This is crazy. So Devontae Adams and Brock Bowers. I'm not touching the running game because there's no. They say they want to get White heavily involved, but I'm not messing with White.
You got to see it first, dude. You got to see it first.
So Devontae Adams and Brock Bowers
are
your 2 to start. Period.
Yep.
I'm not starting Minshew. And we're both going to take the Raiders for our pick for this week.
Both going to take the Raiders. I mean, going back to the Carolina Panthers.
Oh, and you can take the Raiders defense. You can start. That's a must start if you have them and they're available.
Smash. Even with old man Andy Dalton.
Doesn't matter. Crosby's going to have a fucking field day with that guy on the field. So yes,
dude, I've got Crosby in one of my IDP leagues and smash. He's always in my lineup, but like. I would never take him out of the lineup now. Yeah, I love him. I mean, it's insane. So
next up, we got Miami versus Seattle.
We got to keep going. Yeah, Miami versus Seattle.
We got plenty. We're about 50 minutes in. Got to keep our flow with these snoozers and go to some juice, and then we still got a lot of games up. So Miami, Seattle. I will take the Dolphins. Tua is not playing, so you don't have to worry about that. Wouldn't start him anyway because he probably doesn't know where he is.
He's on IR. They put him on IR. So
A-Chain, however you want to say him. Must start. A-Chain. You got to take him. You're going to start Hill. Got no choice. And Jalen Waddle. You have no choice.
No. Really?
Yes.
You would start Jalen Waddle.
I would. Dude, he has 150 yards. Hill only has 154.
Have you seen his passer like receptions and catches that he's done when Tua's not the quarterback?
Oh, I know he's not the greatest by any means.
No, he's like literally he's like wide receiver. He's like a wide receiver 4.
Yeah. Like, it just sucks because they're literally Hill and Waddle are almost dead even minus a touchdown.
Yeah, I'm not starting Jalen Waddle.
Well,
I'll mark my words. I don't think he's gonna, unless he scores a touchdown. I don't think he's gonna top a wide receiver 4. Is where I'll call it, man.
How many yards does he have?
Waddle?
Yeah,
I think he'll have 4 receptions for 57 yards.
Okay, I wrote it down. You're good.
What do you think he's going to have? Let's talk about this.
I think it's a touchdown.
One
touchdown, 68 yards.
That's not like a smash start. That's my point. Like,
yeah, but it's still better though.
12 points.
Yeah, I'll take that. Oh, you're telling me he's horrendous, so I'm going to go start him, and that's what he gets.
I'm going to say he's dog shit. He will be horrible. I think he's going to stink. If you have him in your lineup, I think you're going to regret it. That's all I'll say.
All right. Well, I'm not saying he's like your number 1. I'm talking about like maybe a flex play or something different. I'm not gonna say like he has to go in, but all right.
So who's gonna win?
I
didn't even go Seattle.
Seahawks. I was gonna say I'm like, as your injury guy, Walker is not playing, so Charbonnet will be getting the start.
That's huge. No, they currently have his doubtful, but he's not practiced all week, so he will not be playing. Zach Charbonnet will be a hardcore smash start. He actually looks really good too. Geno Smith, I think you could start him if you, depending on where you're at. I mean, in some leagues you've got, craziness like Patrick Mahomes. Like, what has he been doing? Like, you've got a couple things that, like, I'm not saying I would start Geno over Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying that. Do not quote me at saying that. But I'm just saying, like, he's been pretty good. Start Zach Charbonnet, start DK Metcalf. Here's the question I'm going to throw to you. I think you can.
I'm starting them.
JSN. You are? You knew what I was going to.
I got receipts, man. I'm going to back it up. You want me to ever show you anything? I will show you it. I am starting him.
I got to admit, man, you were on that train. I was doubting it. Now I'm on it. So,
yeah.
Because JSN, you start Tyler Old Man Lockett, fucking put him in retirement. Put that dude in a fucking old folks home. Like, put him in a retirement home. He's out. It sucks. It's finally the year that it happened because everybody's been dogging him for years. And he is one of those guys that you could get him in like the 7th round, and he is like a wide receiver 2 by the end of the year. And it looks like this is finally the year where he's not a wide receiver 2.
Question is, who are you picking?
You got to go Seattle, man.
Yeah, so did I. Gotta.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, with that quarterback, like, you can't. In Seattle, I mean, come on, dude.
No. All right, now the more interesting game, probably my favorite game in the 4:00 hour, is going to be this game, which would be
this is going to be a good one.
Detroit versus Arizona.
The next one's going to be good too.
Yeah, actually, but Detroit versus Arizona, I think this has got more like they're 1-1. I want to see, is Detroit going to be real and is Arizona real? Because this is where you're going to start seeing some like real teams show their shit. So,
and if I don't mind, just let me interject for 1 second. We also talked about this pregame or pre-show. Whoever loses this is going to be 1-2.
Yep.
Neither of these teams we thought at the very beginning of the year was going to be 1-2. So and then you're going to have panic is going to start to ensue. I mean, 1-2 is not a great start for
not at all.
A team that if it's Detroit coming off of a NFC Championship game last year and they start 1-2 this year, or Arizona, who everybody said this year could be their year, like they're anticipating them to get close and do a far playoff run.
So
what are you messing around with, man? I hear noise in the background.
Oh yeah, no. I'm adjusting some things. I have to get my stats up. I have my phone here and I have my iPad here, so I'm going around a bunch of stuff. So
Pat's like a newbie on audio. So
listen,
go ahead.
So I'll take the Lions.
Okay, go ahead.
Jared Goff, you have to start him. I would think most likely. I mean, he's having the best year, but you got to go with Goff. I'll take it. Monty, start. Montgomery, I think he's going to do well today. Like he's just edging out Gibbs, but I think it's going to be still like that 50-50 kind of feel. It sucks, man. Like
I'm Gibbs then.
I'm starting both in one league still
until
the one out like proves themselves. Okay. So I'm starting both. St. Brown got back on the bandwagon. This is the game of Laporta. Is he real or is he not? Because this is what we've been waiting for. Laporta has not done shit all year.
Is it panic with patience?
Yeah, no, this is it. This is where you can either be like, oh shit, waste of a pick, or maybe I'll live another day. So I'm not starting Laporta, obviously, and you have to wait and see. Because I think this is the week of like, this is it. You should have your shit together after last year and the following. Like, dude, he's been
tight end. You guys need to step the fuck up, man. Tight end, you's got to represent.
I'm out. So yeah, there you go. So the two running backs, St. Brown. I guess you could do Williams if you want him in a flex spot if you really need one.
That's what I was going to say, Jameson.
I mean, I don't think you need it, but you could.
I do. I'm playing that guy. I think they love him, man. I think in a flex spot. I don't think he's going to make it over.
Like it's not a starter. So so basically, running backs, wide receivers, and the quarterback.
Okay. It's gonna be very similar. It's gonna be very similar on the Arizona side, man. So you got Kyler Murray. You're gonna start Kyler Murray. James Conner is the dude, he's a bell cow. He's the back. He's the only back option there. So you're going to hammer and start James Conner. I could see him. Detroit defensive line is obviously very good. So I could see him probably being a running back too. So obviously like temper expectations there
with it. Yeah.
But you cannot not start him. Marvin Harrison Jr. smash start. Only wide receiver I'd start. I know Michael Wilson's there and I know he's kind of had some play here and there, but Marvin Harrison is the only one. And if anybody listening here, South Harmon on Sunday, start sit. We do it live. I was on last Sunday for an hour with them, and Eric threw a random question out at the very beginning about what was the play of the week or the player of the week, and I didn't know that the question was coming, and I just shot out Marvin Harrison Jr. and he balled out. So I'm just ringing that bell right there. So just saying that. But anyways, listen to South Harmon. Tune in on South Harmon.
Sunday morning.
Sunday morning, it's an hour before game time.
Yeah, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 11 a.m. Central Time.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so Michael Wilson, like I said, sorry to toot our own horn, but I feel like sometimes it's, why not? Michael Wilson, you're definitely not playing. He's been atrocious. The only wide receiver that you can play is Harrison Jr. Trey McBride, you can start. Same thing. Tight ends have been miserable across the board. Where you drafted him, you cannot afford to sit him. And he's actually had a decent season so far. Yards, not so much, but the receptions are there. The targets are there. He's got 15. He leads the team in targets. So he has 15 targets. Trey McBride, that is. Marvin Harrison only has 11. And then Greg Dortch has 10. But Trey McBride has the most amount of receptions at 11. Double Marvin Harrison Jr. Only has 97 yards and no touchdowns. But he's getting the opportunities, man. And that's what this game is about. It's about opportunities. So smash Trey McBride
with it.
And that is that.
Most important question. Who are you picking in this phenomenal matchup?
Damn it. You put me first. Good.
You're damn right.
You're a very smart man.
You sweat it. Sweat it out, Matt. Let's go. Give me this pick.
I say Detroit. I think Detroit has too many options on offense for Arizona to necessarily stop all of them. I think for Arizona, you have two things on offense. You've got you got your runner in James Conner, which they've got a good defensive front in Detroit.
Yep.
And then all they got to do is get their backs, their cornerbacks, and their safeties to focus on Marvin Harrison, shut him down, and that's the offense. So I think it's a lot easier to do that. So I'm saying Detroit. I think it's gonna be a very close game. I think it's gonna be a slugfest. But I go Detroit.
Yeah. I'm going to go Detroit also. This is really pretty much kind of where I'm at. Greg has another comment for you, brother.
Had you on mute for a bit and went back now. All right. Yeah, come on, man. We'll talk through it. So we'll talk through. We'll let you on. You can talk through your trades, and we'll have fun with it, Greg. My boy Greg, man.
Listen, Greg, you can learn more from.
Yeah, you
Matt
get to actually meet
stuff.
You get to actually see him in person then, because I talk about him a lot in all of our podcasts. Because there's so many goddamn leagues of ours. Greg, how many leagues are we together?
Well, while Greg goes, I'm gonna go right to the next game. Baltimore, Dallas. Go ahead.
This is gonna be a good one, dude.
You take the Ravens.
You want me to take the Ravens? All right. Obviously, Lamar Jackson, you're gonna start. He hasn't had probably the best year so far that that everybody's anticipating. It's hard to believe they're 0-2. I mean, can you imagine? Let's just pause for 1 second. That division, which we were talking about, was going to be a knockout division, and like there's going to be, oh my god, anybody can win it. It's going to be like the black and blue division.
Yeah,
2 teams are 0-2. Unfortunately, your Cincinnati Bengals are 0-2, and the Baltimore Ravens are 0-2. The 2 teams that are projected to probably lead that division, if not win, and they're both are 0-2. Like, if Baltimore Ravens go to 0-3,
major.
Holy dude, that is like catastrophically major. Like, that's like, whoa. Like,
so it's a must. So you're telling me it's a must-win for the Ravens? Let's be really honest. That's what this is.
1,000%. It's a must-win for the Bengals too. They just have an easier path to get to that win, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, but I hope. Well, we should have won the last one. Don't get me ranted, but I'm letting.
Yeah. So sorry, Lamar Jackson is starting. Derrick Henry, you have to start for where you drafted him. I think they're going to try to get him more opportunities. They've talked about it too, like getting him more involved. It'll only help the passing offense. And then Mark Andrews, you got to start for where you drafted him again. I don't like it. He hasn't been the Mark Andrews of old, but it goes back to like, and if you've got Isaiah Likely, you can start Isaiah Likely too. I think this is one of those places where, if Mark Andrews does not perform this week, I will honestly say like it's time to sit him. It's time to move on. And I think it's time to kind of like put a fork in him. He's done. He's passed the torch. Isaiah Likely will be the tight end that you want in that offense if he does not perform this week. So it's the last week that I'll even say that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm with it.
Those are the 3, and then after that, I think you just kind of close the book.
Dallas is really easy. It's Dak and Mr. Lamb.
CeeDee Lamb.
And I would take neither.
What about Cooks? What about Brandon Cooks?
No, I'm not on it. No. You should have better options. Silly people.
I don't have better options in some leagues.
Well, I feel sorry for you, my fellow
dude. Injuries. No. But seriously, think about all the injuries. Like think about all the top people that you drafted when you did a redraft, and all the injuries. Cooper Kupp. You've got going down the list.
AJ Brown.
Puka Nacua. I mean, to say that you can't. That like
yeah, I know, but I shouldn't be a starter though.
At this point, he might have to be in a certain league. If you're down 3 wide receivers and he was your wide receiver 5. If you need to
take him, I guess you could take him. But I mean, I prefer you not. And I'm not starting either defense because Baltimore's a phenomenal defense and Dallas has a phenomenal defense. I will start neither of them
because I think the 2 juggernauts like standing in the middle of the ring, just like punching each other in the face.
Yeah,
the whole game.
I want nothing to do with the defense. So no, pass on that. Let's go to the next snooze fest.
Sorry, who did you say was going to win?
Oh, I love how you threw that to me. Dallas is going to win this because I hate the Ravens. I'm going to go 0-3. Put that shit on wax. Ravens.
I'm going to go Baltimore. I'm going to go Baltimore.
See, you're with me. I know.
Yeah, and the only reason why I say I'm not against you. I mean, I know you got your Bengals draped behind you, and I know you bleed orange, but I will just say that like they've got more to lose if the team does not win. If that makes sense. I
agree with you.
So I think, and I'm not saying that that's all the end all be all of a game, but I just think, I mean, you could also argue the other side that like Dallas just got their ass handed to them in their own home last week, so they may be so pissed right now and just beat the living tar out of Baltimore. That could be a thing too.
I'm taking Dallas.
No, I know you are. I know you are. But I'm just saying that could be the reason why.
That's why I think they're not going to embarrass twice in a row at home. I can't see it. Okay. All right, so let's go to the snooze fest. Let's get
4 more games to go. San Francisco 49ers at the LA Rams. What side do you want? I'll give it to you.
You can. I'm not. You could start Purdy, but I won't. There's other options, I think.
Yeah, I'm scared, especially. Yeah,
Debo being out. Debo being out, rusty. Kittle's questionable.
Kittle's banged up too.
Yeah,
apparently woke up and his like hamstring like was saying I'm not
wrong.
Cool right now. Yeah.
So Mason is the only one I'm starting. And Ayuk if you have to.
Damn, I don't disagree with you at all.
Actually. That's it. It's pretty simple. The Niner defense too. You have to start against that Rams offense.
Fair.
No effing questions about it, bro.
I will say this though. I think if Kittle starts or plays, I should say, I think you can start him.
Okay.
And I don't know. Do you feel that way, or do you feel like you'd still would stay away from him?
The tight end's been really weak this year, so you could do it.
That's kind of where I'm going. I think whenever he plays, I mean, he may
but he might not even be like a full good go.
No, that's what I'm saying. He may only play a half. Like he could theoretically get knocked out halfway during the game. But
I like I said, I'm gonna stick with just Mason and I guess Mason, Ayuk if you have to, and then the defense, San Fran's defense, because the Rams have no one to throw to.
Well, on the other side, there's nobody for me really to talk about. The one who we will discuss because we need to. Kyren Williams, man. We've talked about a couple of letdowns. I mean, it's mostly been a lot of running backs that have been performing this whole entire year. This guy, like, did he just switch bodies with somebody? Because this does not look like the running back that we all saw and fell in love with last year. I mean, 30 carries with 75 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Not impressive.
75 yards in 2 games, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that's 37 yards a game. Like,
shit's pathetic.
It's like, what?
But you got to start him for where you are. Oh, and I can tell you the one guy that
I don't know if you do though, dude. You could have picked up Mason off the bench or something. I mean, you could have.
But where you drafted him, you're gonna sit Williams?
I don't, dude. Against his defense?
But I mean,
so what do you think he's gonna finish that as then? Well, running back what? Running back 3, running back 4, flex 1, flex 2. Like, where'd you put him?
I put him at like RB2 because of where you drafted him, and there's not many options left on the other side. It sucks, but the one person I will tell you to keep an eye on, and we'll do it, is Tyler Johnson. I think he keeps going up. I said that the other week. I picked him over the other Robinson, I think his name is. I don't even know his name. So yeah, Tyler Johnson. I'm gonna keep an eye. I just picked him off waivers because he was available. Keep an eye on him. I think he's gonna move. Oh, and the Niners win because we're clearly picking the Niners.
Yeah, question for you though. I want to go back to Kyren Williams. I don't disagree with you. I think he probably will end up being a running back 2. But here's a couple of options I'm going to throw at you. You've got Kyren Williams and you've got Travis Etienne. Who are you starting?
Etienne
over Kyren Williams. Okay.
Yes.
You got Kyren Williams and you've got Tony Pollard. Who are you starting?
Tony Pollard.
I would agree with you on that one. You've got last one, and then we'll move on. Kyren Williams or Brian Robinson Jr.?
B-Rob.
Fuck yeah, B-Rob.
Yeah, man.
We both called that one too, by the way.
Yep, I got him too. My receipts stay on my lineup.
Oh, we got that. All right, let's go to the next game, man. This is actually going to be a good game, man. Good game. Sunday Night Football.
It's all right. They get shafted, and they're going to win anyway because the refs love them.
You're so fucking hilarious, dude. All right, we got the Kansas City.
I don't want them. You take them.
At the Atlanta. I can't make you. That'd be rude.
So, question for you. I'm throwing you one right now. Sit or start Kelsey with his bum ass and how bad he's been playing.
Fuck no. I'm sitting that ass, so dude. I'm sorry. Like, no, dude. I'm sitting him until he proves something different, man. Like that dude, he might be done, honestly, bro. Like, I don't understand what's happened, or maybe he's just getting like certain players. I don't know if you heard of, like, professional football players like wouldn't have sex the night before a game because they felt like it could take away a lot of the stamina. Maybe he's just like, maybe he's just like fuck it, and he's just like, I'm just gonna just.
It's his mustache and beard. He ruined it. I think his haircut, everything looks horrible. He's out.
He looks like a douchebag. Yeah, I'm sitting. I mean, you may be in a position where there's some leagues where people drafted multiple tight ends and there's really nobody to pick from, so you might have that opportunity. But if you have, we'll pull up some options here in a second. But I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs are the only one that I think you can comfortably start is Rashee Rice. Comfortably.
Yes, agreed.
I would have set up as Isaiah Pacheco.
Mahomes has improved it. I know you drafted him high, but he's not even up there. So no, we
talked about this on All In earlier when we recorded for South Harmon earlier in the week. Is that with Patrick Mahomes? What did I say? So yeah, we'll get.
Yeah, we got you, Mo.
We got you in a second, man. Appreciate you. So Patrick Mahomes has not scored 20 fantasy points in the past. What was it, Pat? 11 games, dating back to last year.
Correct. And I don't think
I'm going to repeat that. And if anybody wants to, by all means, look at your leagues. I mean, depending on scoring, it might be slightly different. This is 6-point per passing scoring league. It's actually my keeper league, which I have him in, which is the reason why I know this stat, is that he has not scored 20 points in, it might have been 7. I believe it's 7 games, 7 or 11. I can't remember exactly off the top of my head, but all the way back to the midseason of last year, Patrick Mahomes. That's how bad it is. So I'm worried, man. I would rather start, we can go through this here too in a second. So I would rather start just going down the list. CJ Stroud over Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. I would start Dak Prescott over Patrick Mahomes. I would start Jared Goff Here's the other thing too, and I'm gonna. This is gonna sound stupid, but like Derek Carr, would you start Derek Carr over Patrick Mahomes?
Yes. Now, yes.
I actually think there's more upside.
Yeah.
Now it could be a week where Patrick Mahomes blows up and like you look stupid, but if you literally pull it up and you look at it, there's more opportunity, more upside with Derek Carr than there's Patrick Mahomes right now.
For sure.
That offense is more elite. They score more points. It's much more of a conversation than it was. So I could easily play Derek Carr over.
Yeah, I'm with it. So I agree with you on
and
that.
And then Rishi Rice. Yeah. Sorry.
Yep. So me on the other side, Bijan must.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to tell you between Drake, London, and Mooney, it's getting close. Even though you're going to start London because of where you drafted him.
Yeah.
Called that one. Mooney's looking good. I give Mooney another week, and then you can put him in your flex play because he's getting that.
I think I called that before you did, Pat. I think we both called it at some point. But
I agree.
You got to throw him
so, yeah, those are really it. I mean, there's nothing too crazy to go with. Man, I mean, again, the tight end situation, I wouldn't start them. I mean, it's just crazy, man. Like the tight ends have just been not what it's been, and I don't know.
Dude,
so
it's scary.
Feeling
it's
comfortable
weird,
where it is,
weird year, man.
It's just really going to be Bijan Robinson and London because you drafted them where it is. And I'm going to take as the upset. I'm going to take the Falcons beat Kansas City tomorrow and give them their first loss.
Tomorrow? You mean Sunday?
Sunday. Sorry.
Yeah, Sunday night football.
Yes. Who are you picking? Just take KC because I can tell you're doing it. It's all right though.
No, I actually think you're right. I can see Atlanta winning. I can see they're starting to gain. You know, Kirk Cousins talked about it after the game when they interviewed him. He's like, look, we're still getting our timing together. He's like, I'm still getting comfortable with like being back, in game speed.
With it.
And you could see at the end of the game, you could start to see that mojo with Kirk Cousins. I mean, dude, they went down the field in like, what was it, 30-something seconds or 40 seconds and scored a touchdown? I mean, it was like insane. He was like a surgeon. He's got the team. So I say Atlanta. So let's get to
So Mohammed, so you want to start Kirk or Waddle? Apologize for a little longer than usual, but this is the game we're getting into next because Kirk is with Jacksonville, so it fits a little perfect for what we got going up. Matt, I want you.
No, you go first. You read the
you want? I don't know. That's fine with me.
It's a great question, I think.
It is actually a great question. Well, you're going to start Kirk because you don't like Waddle in the situation. I know that was what you would pick because you're not a fan of what's going on down there. I'd probably start Kirk, to be honest with you, also in this. I feel more comfortable too. That's my opinion, really. So I'll say Christian Kirk.
Okay.
It just sucks because if Tua was in, it would have been a Waddle hands down.
Oh, it'd
be a question, He's like, no, right?
Appreciate you, man.
I'm starting Kirk over Waddle. I will agree with him on that for sure. It just sucks because Tua is the one that makes makes it all what it is.
I'm gonna disagree with you, man. And this is gonna help Muhammad. I'm sorry, Muhammad. It's not gonna help.
Oh, you're gonna split them.
I'm not intentionally, dude. It's just like so. Here's Kirk's stats. So pause it in a second in the Waddle conversation. We had this earlier. I don't know, Muhammad, when you came on, but Waddle without Tua is like wide receiver 4 usually in the games that Tua has not played. Last year and the year before, if you pull him up, like I don't know exactly where he falls, but he's basically atrocious. He's not a startable wide receiver. So that's what the conversation was earlier, and that's why when we first started talking, that's why Pat said that he thought it would take the opposite of Waddle.
Right.
But Christian Kirk in that Jacksonville Jaguar offense is atrocious, dude. Atrocious. Like not even like Trevor Lawrence as a passer has only had 382 yards for this season. It's only 2 weeks, but passing attempts, 51 pass attempts, 26 completions, only has 1 passing touchdown, and QBR rating of 82.3. Kirk, 7 targets, 2 receptions, 29 yards through 2 games.
So just taking the upside of Waddle.
You have to. I mean, right. I think that Waddle carries more upside, and I don't think it's going to be a game. We were talking earlier, Muhammad, about how many yards he's going to have. I think Waddle could get 35 to 50 yards. I don't think it's going to be like, a 90-yard, 100-yard game, but he can easily get a touchdown. He can get in the end zone. But then you look at Kirk and like, he's not getting anything.
I didn't even know. It's crazy because when you break down Kirk's stats as bad as I didn't even think how it's crazy because I brought him in there to be like a nice solid, thing. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah,
I don't know, man. It's full. I think it's also just the team in general, bro.
Yeah. The team in general, Jacksonville, there's something going on there. If they don't have, I mean, they've got an offensive coach. Like
I agree with you on that too. Yeah. No,
like,
Waddle.
They could fire the coach. Yeah, Mohammed, we agree with you, man.
Yeah,
like,
no,
Waddle's
got to be it. After looking at some of these other numbers, I really didn't realize how, like, because Jacksonville's really not in the radar. It'd be, dude, just in general, just Trevor Lawrence is just running at like a 50% ratio, even just not even, can't even throw as good as he was. You're right.
51%. Yeah, 51%, averaging 7.5 yards a pass attempt.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just bad. So, yeah, Mohammed, we're with you.
Yeah,
Waddle.
Waddle. Even Waddle at being a wide receiver 4 has way better upside than Kirk. I didn't realize how like rough it is even down there. Even for Brian Thomas and Gabe Davis are struggling too. They're not having phenomenal.
Let's go back to that conversation real quick, Pat. So when we say Waddle is a wide receiver 4, to me that's the floor with Skyler. Yeah. With Skyler as the quarterback. Now he could end up balling out and be wide receiver 3 or maybe a low end wide receiver 2. I think Kirk's ceiling right now is a wide receiver 4, not even the floor. I think his ceiling is, until he can prove otherwise, he's a wide receiver. I think it's no doubt Waddle.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't realize. You know what's funny? Being not so into him, it's like how bad Trevor Lawrence has degressed now, because Lawrence was throwing such a nice time, making the playoffs. Now it's like
no. We talked about this in the offseason. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence is not, with the hype that came with him coming in to football in general, when he was drafted as the 101, he has not lived up to that at all. He's had one halfway decent. He's had one halfway decent season last year. The year prior to that, he was okay. The year before that, he was absolute trash. Yeah. Anyways, great question. Great question. Keep him coming, man.
No, not in that, dude. Not realizing how bad it's gotten down there. I mean, it's week 3. It could turn. You know, I mean,
but they could also fire the coaching staff after week 3.
Yeah, that's true too.
You know, so all right, let's get back into the games. So great question. Keep them coming, please.
Yeah, man.
Anything you want to ask?
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
That's why we like doing things live. So two Monday night games, bro.
Yes, I actually love it.
I think it's amazing.
So I'll start. We can start with what it is. Who do you want?
I'll take. We'll do. I mean,
Jacksonville or Buffalo?
Jacksonville. I'll do it real quick. I mean, honestly, the only person you could possibly you can't even start anybody on the team. I think it's gonna. We talked about this too. It's like a split. No, because he's splitting the backfield with Bigsby. I mean, Bigsby had a little bit. Bigsby was banged up.
I love Brian Thomas. It just sucks. He's had such a bad team, man. I love Brian Thomas.
He's leaving. You have a rookie leading the receiving room with 141 yards, 8 targets, 6 receptions, and 1 touchdown. The only receiving touchdown that they've had all season is to Brian Thomas, which is week 1. So yeah, Brian Thomas maybe as a flex
could do that.
Maybe. Other than that team, running back scare the shit out of me. I'm not touching any of them.
So I'll take the good old, Bills, Allen, Cook, and Shakir if you need them. Maybe. I really don't trust that. I don't know, man. I don't even trust that. So I'll just say Allen and Cooks. Dalton Kincaid, this is your last week on my team. I'm warning you also with that because
did you just serve him notice?
Oh, yeah, he got served, bro. There's a paper on his door. Oh, yeah, bro. I can't.
It's like, your ass is going to get evicted if you don't fucking set the
man, all that hype, all these tight end hypes, man. What a joke. So, yeah, that's it. So, Allen and Cook will be my start, and we're both taking the Bills to win this game because there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that.
Oh, yeah, there's no question about that. All right, last game.
Love it.
Monday night, round 2 for games. Yes. So, get your popcorn ready. This game will be interesting for one reason only, because you're going to get to see if Cincinnati is for real or not, or if they're really an 0-2 team. And then you're going to get to see Washington Commanders, which is so weird to say that. And, you can get to see the rookie in play, Jaden Daniels. So
I've seen him.
I'll go through Washington. Obviously, got to leave you with the team. I'm not going to take that away from you. Jaden Daniels, I think you could start because I think he's a rushing upside. From a stats perspective, he hasn't been great as a passer, but none of the rookie quarterbacks have been. Right. He does have 410 yards passing with 53 attempts, 40 completions. So not too bad. No touchdowns, though. And then for rushing, Jaden Daniels has 132 yards. That dude is going to get killed. I'm just telling you now. He's had 26 carries. He has 3 less carries, Pat, than Brian Robinson. He's supposed to be the workhorse.
That's pretty crazy. Oh, man.
That is insane. Brian Robinson needs to start. Not a question there. Zach Ertz, man. I think you could actually start Zach Ertz. He's been looking pretty good as far as tight ends go.
Better than most.
And that's it. Terry. Scary who? Where's that guy going?
It's scary how bad Terry is.
You could, and I'll actually say this, you might be able to start Eckler if you need him just because of the targets and receptions he's getting. He leads, this is crazy stat too. He leads the team in receiving ahead of all the wide receivers and ahead of tight end.
Wild.
Austin Eckler. Crazy.
All right.
Do it. This is your team, man. This is your moment.
Start Burrow. I think he's back on. Get him going. Warm him up. The backfield, I am still not thrilled about. Zach Moss still has the edge over Brown.
That backfield is
but it's I'd stay away from both.
That's some bullshit.
Dude, Mike Gesicki, you start him at tight end because he is leading the team even with receptions right now and yards.
We're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to that in a second.
So Mike Gesicki, you start. Right. Jamar Chase, you have no choice because you paid a major premium. And he also said he is not talking about contract. He was misled all off season supposedly, and they will talk again at the end of the year. That's the end of that, just so you know.
Dude, I think it's going to be a Jamar Chase blow up game. I think he's going to have like some crazy stat line, like 9 receptions, 165 yards, 3 touchdowns. Like it's just going to be like, you're like, whoa, like every time you look, he's having a big play. I think he's going to torch the Washington backfield or secondary, I should say.
Love it.
But I want to go back to Gesicki. And the reason why I do is T. Higgins has been out. There's talks that T might be back this week.
There's a possibility.
That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt Gesicki.
I can see that. But you got to start him, though, because I don't even trust how healthy T is. Like, I thought he was fine, and all of a sudden he ends up on the report again during, like, the end of the preseason and right before the regular season started.
Fair. But I'm just saying, like, I would just, maybe it goes back to, like, temper expectations.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it won't be
if Higgins
crazy.
Is in, Yeah. What about – go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
I say Gesicki is, like, number one. As crazy as it sounds, how we play.
No, it is crazy.
He's
but
number one.
It's true because Chase hasn't really been that dominant, right? And you could even say Burrow. The whole offense has been very sluggish. So,
but I think now this is definitely a start me up game. So we're both taking Cincy. Period. You're not taking the Commanders. I'm not gonna let you.
No, I'm not taking the Commanders.
So
Pat, we got through it, man. Week 3. What do you think so far, man? What's the game besides Cincinnati? What is the game that you're most excited to watch this weekend? We might have talked about it when we did the games, but let's recap it.
Houston, Minnesota.
You're going with your CJ Stroud,
but I also want to see like what's made with what, and then also the Saints if they're really what they say they are. That's like my games, like on my block.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a lot of headliners coming out of this week. I think it's gonna be the Chicago Bears offense because there's a lot of people that drafted these players expecting them to perform, and it's been a letdown. I agree with you. The Houston game, I think that's probably one of the best games of the whole entire week. I think Philadelphia and New Orleans is gonna be another monster game. Detroit, Arizona, we talked about that. The one game, if I were to pick one, I'm gonna go Kansas City, Atlanta.
Okay.
And the reason being, does Kansas City offense finally look like Kansas City offense again? Meaning Patrick Mahomes do something, Travis Kelce do something. And then on the flip side of that, do you have Atlanta Falcons, does Kirk Cochains actually continue what he left the last game with when he won and had that like awesome, like drive to win the game? Is that going to continue or is that just a fluke?
Yeah, I can see that. I agree with you on that 100%. Like this is going to answer the question. And I don't know, man. I think Atlanta, I think this is more. I think it's Atlanta's game to lose in its own right because I think they're home. They're going to build up the momentum, and after punching the Eagles in the jaw and and showing that if you make a mistake, you're going to pay for it, unless the referees want them to win, like usual. Other than that, that's it, bro. But no, I think this game. I see your point, but I think it's more for Atlanta to lose because I think Atlanta's got this heavy momentum after beating the Eagles. I mean, they're that's a big deal, especially.
No, it's massive, dude. It's massive.
I think
on a game-winning drive, it was
I love it. It was a great game, and Kirk Cochains looked great again, dude.
He did.
I loved it,
dude. Those dimes that he was dropping, like Mooney,
Mooney looks back to what he used to look like. They all looked great.
It was awesome. Yeah.
So yeah, man. I'm excited. Let's
Pat and I were texting, and we're like, every time Darnell Mooney got a catch, I was like, damn, I called the dude. I told you. And he's like, I called it too. And we're going back and forth.
Dude, I love
call it first.
Picking him up on all the dynasty rosters.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. He should have been on somebody's roster anyways. We talked about it, man. When there's a wide receiver one in the offense, Darnell Mooney is a really good wide receiver.
Agreed.
He just got screwed his last year in Chicago because Justin Fields looked at one player, if that read, which is DJ Moore. If that read was not there, he ran the ball. He didn't wait. Yep. And he didn't look for a second and third read. So Darnell Mooney got screwed because of it.
Yeah.
Pat, on the way out, what do you got? Anything else you got to say, man, to the fans? So first, I'll say this real quick. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Appreciate it. Thank you for your questions, Mohammed. Really appreciate that, too. Start, sit. Yep. Greg, I'm going to whoop on you, and we're going to talk about it next week. And then, if you guys haven't already, and subscribe down below.
And we'll definitely be doing some trade talk next time we're on. I want to get some more.
Drop some trades. We'll do a trade episode too. We talked about maybe we'll do one tomorrow. We'll see timing if that works out. But
and then
we'll Sunday
jump on and get it going.
Sunday, tune into South Harmon. I'll be on South Harmon on Sunday with Eric. I think T-Rock is going to be on, and I'm not sure who else is going to be on, but there'll be at least 3 of us. Cool. We can start sit an hour before kickoff. So if you have any questions then, feel free. You'll see my mug. And then we got to get one with me and Pat on there. Pat, unfortunately, has football practice for his son in the morning, so it's a little bit difficult for him to join. But we're going to try to get a little bit more consistency here. So every Friday, we're going to be doing live Friday feeds. We might do another feed later on early in the week if we get more attendance. Watch us Tuesday. We'll drop one, and then sometimes on Saturday we will drop one as well.
For sure.
Appreciate all your time. Love the fact that you guys are here listening. Appreciate your support. And until next time, peace. We're out.